Hello and welcome to Good Morning UK Have Your Say, a Force for Good's mid-morning show coming to you live from the heart of the Govan area here. This is an outdoor broadcast from the great British city of Glasgow. And we're heading down to the COP26 venue to show you what it's all about and to see if we can tout a banner around anywhere. Now, I'm standing outside these beautiful old halls in Govan, and I'm looking up there at the pediment, and the motto says "Nili sine labore," which is Latin for nothing without work. Nothing without work. And we are on Summertown Road. And behind us, there's something that I want to make sure you can see. Look at that up there in the sky, the sun. And I'm giving a shout out to the sun this morning because it's getting a hard time these 10 days. You know, everybody is hating on the sun. Everybody is saying the sun is too hot. Well, as far as we're concerned here in Glasgow, if we see that beauty up in the sky right there, then it's a good day. It's a good day for us all. And I'm minded of the song, you know, when times are bad and you're feeling sad, I want you to always remember there's a place in the sun where there's hope for everyone, where my poor restless heart has got to run. And we are in a place in the sun in this beautiful Wednesday morning in Govan. And we're heading round this way to the COP26 Govan Town Hall. That's that building there. It's not used as Govan Town Hall anymore. It's an artistic venue, especially for filmmaking. But what a beautiful piece of architecture right there in the background. Now, thank you for everybody who's coming in. Ibrox Park says, good morning, Alistair from County Down. Well, Ibrox Park, we just actually walked through Ibrox Park to actually get here, because as you know, of course, it's just round the corner from where we are. Christopher, good morning from Falkirk, and nice to see Frankie again. And Ibrox Park says, taps off, the sun is out. Well, it's actually, you could actually strip off, actually. It's hot enough, believe it or not. We never used to get hot weather in November. Something must be done about this. Well, that's what the COPs people want to do, because the COP people want to basically ensure that we live in a world where the sun never shines, whether physically or indeed metaphorically. Good morning to Andrew and to Catherine, kindred spirits, she says. And good morning to Debbie and to Alan and to Sandra. Just going to cross over here. We're approaching the area of COPs, and I'll turn the camera around in a moment. We're approaching the area where accredited individuals are allowed to go. It's called the Green Zone. And it's not just like you and I, though. It's like NGO people and others who have got tickets can go into the Green Zone. And then across the Clyde is the area for all the politicians and world leaders and pretend world leaders as well. And we have plenty of them here in Glasgow at the moment. All right, Tommy, hope things are well with you. Send in your comments and questions, folks, if you want to ask us anything about what's going on here. All right, Alan. And Michael says, don't sing. Ian says, good morning, Alistair. How do we start to demand an in-depth audit of the SNP in Scotland? Well, it's for the politicians to do. And we've got a magazine coming up, 40-page magazine. It's going to the printers on the 11th of November. And it's going to talk about that, the importance of having an audit of Holyrood. Okay, we're crossing over here. Greg says, well done, AFFG. Take a wee walk into SNP constituency. Well, it's a wee bit of a walk from where we are at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see where we are. Then we're going to cross over the street. Okay, we're crossing over here to the area. And you know, it's not that busy. It's not that busy. So let's take a walk down right to the area. And you can see a kind of blimp thing in the background. That's the IMAX, which is on this side of the Clyde. This is the green zone. Just take a walk down here, see what's shaking. I wonder if we can local access only. Well, we're local, right? Right. Over here. Right, thank you. Yeah. Just what's the access for folk? How do we get across the Clyde? Okay, get tickets and everything, guys? Or... No tickets. No tickets. Sold out. So yeah. Yeah. But what about just getting over to the other side of the Clyde? Can we walk through the Clyde Arc? I mean, to be honest, mate, this is obviously all restricted now, all locked up. Right. Basically, go down here, take a left, just keep walking. Right. So, okay. Okay. So, who are these people? Are they? They all work in these buildings. All right. Okay. Right. Thanks. All right, mate. Cheers. Thank you very much. Yeah. Local lad. Okay, so that's the green zone. You can't get into the green zone unless you got tickets, which we don't have. Why would we buy tickets? We wouldn't. So we'll walk round, see if we can get some photographs. Cheers. That's usually the car park for Science Centre, but it's all closed off. But as you see, there's basically no cars in there, even though it's a massive big car park. So there we go. In case you were in any doubt, it's UK government. Together for our planet. Greg says these world leaders don't care about the environment.
If that was the case, they would have arrived in Glasgow in push bikes, not aeroplanes or gas guzzlers. Well, Boris has got a bicycle. He could have done a sponsored cycle all the way up, raised some money, and lost some weight in the process. Yeah, fairly empty car park. But what you're looking at there in the background is the science tower which they built, which is a bit of a folly because it doesn't actually work. The top bit's meant to revolve somehow, but it doesn't do that. So they just left it up there anyway. And coming around here for something that's not particularly the center of a lot of problems, the BBC Studios. That's their big building up there, BBC Scotland Studios. So that whole area there is closed off. So you're really only getting in there if you work at BBC Scotland Studios, or if you are in one of the events, which presumably is being held, I don't know, in the IMAX, which is that blimp thing, or in the Science Centre, perhaps. But it's a lovely day to show you this anyway. Look at all that. That's really nice. That's the climate change this time of year that's doing all of that to this bush. Lovely. Yep, climate change. Climate change in November does lead to nice colours, that's for sure. Wouldn't want that to stop happening in November. Although no doubt that upsets somebody. So we're heading down to see if we can get across the Clyde Arc over to where the leaders and pretend leaders are basing themselves and listening to interminable speeches. I mean, imagine if you're actually in there and you've got to listen to somebody, you know, from, I don't know where, from some NGO in, I don't know, Germany or something, talking about how we have to shut down the planet's fossil fuels or something. I mean, it must be absolute torture to have to sit there and listen to all that. My God. So fair play to the people who have got tickets and who are making an effort to bear the brunt of all of that waffle. Now, audience entrance. See if we can get a sneak peek in the audience entrance. Don't think there's much to see. That big building in the background is the BBC Studios. Somebody's getting Darth Vader there thing. All right. It's a great morning for a walk anyway. Absolutely. So what can we tell you about the COPs thing? That area there, that's the Premier Inn, but that area is also closed off. And at the other side there, you can see the Armadillo. That's where we're going to try to head over to. And, you know, basically, as we've been saying, the politicians love to talk in their abstract manner. They love to talk about nebulous things. They don't want to do things like control the borders. They don't want to do things like make sure the litter gets picked up. And they don't major on that kind of stuff, really. They are a lot better at just talking about nebulous things.
still looking for a place that would be good to stick a banner. We're hoping maybe over the bridge. We'll see. Now the Snp TV Studios are close to here somewhere. They're just round the corner, actually. We call them the Snp TV Studios, but they call themselves STV Studios. Well, everybody on this pavement that we've passed is definitely going or coming back from the hot air conference. There's not any, like what we would call normal people from Glasgow walking down this road, apart from yours truly and my colleague here. Ah, yeah, here we go. This is Snp TV Studios. Not as big as BBC Studios, but modelled in the same kind of way, except smaller. Let's go down here. You know, A Force for Good has been Scotland's premier pro-UK campaigning organisation for almost 10 years now, and we've never even got so much as a call from SNP TV. That's why we call them SNP TV. Don't wanna. Max, stop at the pavement here. Let's get a good shot of. So that's the hydro where they're having, I think they're having a conference in there, and it's the Armadillo where they may also be having a conference, and then the SEC exhibition centre is just behind that, a low-level building, and there's a Finniston crane there, and the SNP TV Studios just there. Okay, let's head back up here around to the. Stephen says, unionist journalism at its best. Thank you very much, Stephen, for your support. Hi to Linda. Nice to see you here. Mark Blade says, our United Kingdom, England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Let's just rush past these people here. Oh, hang on. What's going on here? Looks like we're not going to get down there unless we cross over the road. Look out. Hmm. Yeah. Now that's the. That's the Clyde Arc. Now, we want to cross over there if we can. Now, it has to be pedestrian access for local people, presumably. So let's go and see if we can do that. We're told we can't. If we can't, city centre, right? Keep walking. Keep walking. Yay! We did it. So that whole side is closed off, and basically it's just a bus lane now for the event. Folks, we're still going to have a competition this morning, by the way. And I was looking into what happened on the 3rd of November in British history. And as far as I could see, and I could be wrong, as far as I could see, the most notable event on this day in British history was that, let me just get this right. The most notable event on this day in British history was that on the 3rd of November 1948 in Lennoxtown, East Dunbartonshire, Lulu was born. Okay? Lulu was born on this day on the 3rd of November in 1948, and she went on to represent Britain at the Eurovision Song Contest in 1969. And we've got a nice photograph of her with a Union Jack umbrella, which we'll post up later today. But that was Lulu, born as Marie Laurie. She's an MBE these days. Good for her. And yeah, she won the song in 1969 in a tie with Spain and the Netherlands and France. And her song was called, very intellectual title, Boom, Bang, a Bang was the name. How'd you do, sir? All right. Oh, yeah. Stay on the pavement. Thanks. Friendly policeman there, advising us of the buses that are coming along this lane. Now, that's the Clyde, the wonderful Clyde. The name of it thrills me and fills me with pride, and I'm satisfied, whate'er may betide. The sweetest of songs is the song of the Clyde. Whoa, that's a cool little boat they've got there. See, if you were driving that about the Clyde, you'd feel like James Bond on that one. Look at that, he's coming back round again. Maybe they spotted us. However, they're down there and we're up here, so there's not much they can do about us. But that's a cute little dinghy anyway. How long before the guys crossing the channel get one of those? In fact, get a personal service on one of those. Yeah, Song of the Clyde by the Alexander Brothers. Absolute poetry. They didn't get the credit for that song, in my opinion. Whoa, that's lovely. So to get behind that fence, the entrance is down here, and needs to so what to do? We'll unroll the banner around about here, because there's plenty of folks just taking photographs. But before we do that, we'll just take a walk down to look at the people who are going in to this event.
Americans spent $1 trillion in war over the year. Yay to the Americans! Yay! $1 trillion! $1 trillion of war. My God. And now they're just selling out China. Yay! They're all selling out to China. China is the new superpower on the block. Economic superpower. That's why you're all wearing masks. No more freedom of speech. No more right to protest. Bravo.
Alistair, how you doing?
For America just
all right, mate.
resources.
I not too bad.
I've been on one of your events before, but it's been
with its $1 trillion that sends abroad every year. $1 trillion, come on. That should make you ill.
Somebody in front of you.
$1 trillion in war should make all of you ill.
Aye, absolutely. Aye, thanks very much.
Children that died of starvation in the last decade.
About the Northern East Bank stuff.
Honestly.
All right.
You want to fix the planet. How about we start fixing
Aye, we were there,
ourselves
but
first?
just in a personal capacity. We weren't there as a force for good.
How about we start treating
No.
one another like brothers and sisters? How about we get some transparency in politics?
Say hello, because I
Hello.
see you tonight.
Good.
Care about
Okay,
us.
thanks very much.
If you haven't got $1 billion quid, they don't care about
Yeah,
you,
it's a
man.
lovely day, isn't
Honestly,
it?
dude. I
Absolutely
see
brilliant.
you. They don't care about you. You know it. You're just doing a job. Well done.
We're just doing a broadcast
But
here,
remember, even slaves have jobs.
just facing that way.
Crazy.
Yeah. Good. Cheers.
Next year should be strikes
Just,
all around the world.
that was just the police talking to us there.
Protest.
But this guy, I like. Sorry, go ahead.
We have to wake up to these people in
I like this
power.
guy's message. He's
They
good.
don't care about any of
good.
you. They only care about themselves. The new ruling class. The billionaire class.
This guy's
That's
bang
it.
on.
They don't care, man. $1 trillion on war. $1 trillion. The Ivy League schools in America, I think, received like $12 billion in funding, private funding, where some of the inner city schools in America receive $0 in federal funding. They don't want to educate their people because an educated population is a dangerous population. An educated population asks questions. An educated population demands answers. Jesus, honestly. They don't care about any of you. Keeping us all thumbs down to subscribing and watching Netflix, eating McDonald's. Bravo. Half of the country in this country don't even vote. And I imagine the same in America.
This guy's good,
So
isn't it?
disenfranchised with politics that half of them don't even vote. And that's by design. That's an agenda to make you disenfranchised, to look after the middle class for all that. Just keep handing middle class.
So here are the gates where people are getting into the main area, right? The main area is over there behind the Radisson. By the way, the Radisson has got a great rooftop bar if you're ever in Glasgow. It's called the Sky Bar. Go to that and you get a fantastic view over all of the Clyde area if you're up there. So they've got quite a few things here. Wollongong people here. Hi there. Lovely. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks for that. So they're allowing protests just directly outside the gates, and but obviously just peaceful protests of one or two people. So it's through, just through there. You can see where the main event is happening. Just where the armadillo is, through there. White roofed buildings that have been put up. Police vans there. Okay. Now we've only got away from the guy.
And these people in the look at their league, do not want to power. They want to solidify their power. And that's what they're doing, solidifying their power. Wake up, folks. Wakey. My sincere advice to all the delegates from other countries and people from other countries is to go back to your own countries and start growing food. Beautiful. And tell Bill Gates to go away.
That's good. Grow food and tell Bill Gates to go away. I can't disagree with that particular message. Okay, let's tie our banner to the up there. So my colleague's got a phone call coming in there. Just move away.
The righteous are as gold of lions. The righteous are as gold of lions. And what is righteousness? That's it.
Something going on there with my colleague and a phone call.
Level of truth in the time. Insurance companies making money.
Go over and listen to this guy again while my colleague gets this sorted out on the phone.
That's it. And deep down, you all know this. Deep down, you all know it. That you are being manipulated every day. Every day of your life is just one big manipulation. And then in turn, we start manipulating one another because we're being disempowered. Individually, we're all disempowered. And we don't empower one another. We need to start empowering one another. Honestly.
Nah.
I don't care about
We'll be gone. We'll be here for another 15 minutes. Okay.
You don't mind?
Yeah. Okay.
Stick around and do the
Well,
fire thing.
yeah. Well, let's just do that then.
Put the sun on the banner. Sun's behind it there.
How about if we flash it to that?
Don't do too close to the sky, do you?
No.
Remember, compassion is the highest form of love.
I just up here. Yeah.
Don't just hold it.
See if just wait a minute. You just hold that and just scan about with it. Say some words if you want. Do you want to talk? All right, my colleague's just holding the mic for the moment while I get one or two things sorted out here. Do it just like that. Okay. Yeah. Hang on. Yeah. Okay. Now, we'll tie it with this, folks. I'm just going to just bear with us while I get this out. Black ones will be fine. Put these in here. Okay, we're putting this up. Put that one up there. All right. Doing pretty well. Thanks very much. We'll just probably have this up for 15 minutes or so.
Well, maybe longer, because we're waiting for Bob.
All right.
No worries. Just Perry's today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fixing our someone's turn up your apartment about our situation for him.
Just sooner we put it up, then of course Copper's there.
Andra, con esto ci diamo chance. Ah, ma è così, vuoi un sacco con i fotoni.
Catherine says it looks great. You've always got to just choose your position. Control the borders, not our boilers. It's a great message, that. There you go, as a wee craft in the background as we're taking that photograph. I don't know what the copper's saying to my man. Seems to be quite friendly, though. What's that guy doing down there? What was he saying, Max? Right. Okay. Oh yeah. Could you put one down there? Good. Well, that's our message. Control the borders, not our boilers, because that brings it down to earth, and that gives us, nobody wants to be paying thousands of pounds to get rid of perfectly good fossil fuel gas boilers. And there's a really good interview with the former president of Greenpeace, which is on the internet, and we'll put the link up there. And he left Greenpeace. He founded it, but he left Greenpeace because it went in a bad direction for him, and it went into what he describes almost like, and I'm just paraphrasing here, but into a level of science which was really beyond the ken of most people. And so you could only really get behind it if you had a leap of faith in it, if you had to believe things that, for example, you didn't have the ability to really understand. People can be against like nuclear bombs because they know that that's going to blow up the world, but they don't really know whether or not climate change is real or not, because you need to have science. You have to have an ability to understand the science, because there are scientists on either side of the equation. So what we are looking at with the climate change thing is a level of science that's beyond the ken of virtually everybody. So the only people who believe in it are people who make a leap of faith to believe in it. And a lot of people are looking to make a leap of faith in this secular age because they're looking for something quite rightly to believe in. And they want to be good people, and they want to, do what's good for the world and so on. So this seems to offer salvation in that sense. And so that's why many people kind of fall for it in a way. And this person also made, his name is Patrick Moore. He's, as I say, he's the founder of Greenpeace, but he left Greenpeace because he didn't like the direction it was going in. He points out that it makes sense to conserve fossil fuels, not because of the climate change theory, but because fossil fuels are precious, and they are the only way at the moment that we can effectively heat our homes, and they are the only way that we can effectively drive vehicles, and they're certainly the only way that we can create jet propulsion. So fossil fuels are important, and it makes sense to conserve them, but not to look at them as the enemy.
was something that I thought was really quite good from what he was saying in that interview, and it's worth looking up because he's also got a book as well on the matter, which is very good. Let me take a photograph again. 26 acts, stop for so you can't get behind this guy coming up. Look at this. That's a fantastic wee camera, that, by the way. The XLM, got it about 12 years ago, and it's better than any mobile phone camera I've ever had. The zoom on it is amazing. Okay, it's got a Union Jack wrapped around. So send in your thoughts, folks. Send in your thoughts. Ibrox Park likes it. Richard's watching. Ray Thompson says climate change has been around since the beginning of time and there's not much anyone can do about it. Reducing pollution is okay though. Absolutely. Reducing pollution, reducing litter, all these sorts of things. These are important things. These are things that we can get behind and understand. But as I was saying there, the whole idea of climate change is requiring a leap of faith among those of us who do not understand the science or who don't know what side of the science to fall down on. And that's a big issue, you know. It's a big issue. It requires a leap of faith, as we say. One good thing about this morning is that it's nice and there's no wind. Normally this place would be windy, so we've got really nice weather. And you know, I'm going to say it again. It never used to be nice weather in Glasgow in November. Of course it did. Of course it did. We've always had nice Novembers, sunny Novembers, and rainy Novembers, and windy Novembers, and we always will, regardless of what the chaps in there may try to do. So yeah, I was talking about young people looking for something to believe in, and it is an important thing. We do respect people who seize on a cause, whatever that cause may be. Very often it's not a good cause, but they seize on it because they want to be seen to do the right thing, and it's perfectly understandable. So we would say to those people that worrying about climate change isn't a necessary thing that you need to worry about. Leave that to this kind of faddists. Leave that to the political elite. Quite frankly, I mean, the political elite are really the only people who are driving this, and I've alluded to this before as well. You know, this isn't particularly busy here this morning. It's not like the people in Glasgow. Certainly, a lot of us are at work, but it's not like there's lots of students or people here making a big fuss about things. And so it's really quite quiet. And we predicted that. We said that the only people who are going to be interested in this are going to be maybe some students from Nicola Sturgeon's constituency who are into that kind of thing, and some aging hippies from Hindland. Not to diss aging hippies from Hindland, but they're the kind of demographic that will, you know, read The Guardian, or indeed these days read any newspaper and believe what they read. So that's really all that's going to be concerned about things. here, and they're talking about a march that's going to be on Saturday. And I do want to just lay another marker here for this march that's going to be on Saturday. A Force for Good won't be protesting it or anything like that. We will go along and we'll try to film it to get a proper count of it, just out of interest, nothing else. And people, the media are saying 50 to 100,000, and it's down on the Glasgow City Processions website as 50,000 expected. Now, of course, that's complete nonsense, because as we say, it's coming from Kelvin Grove Park. It's coming from Kelvin Grove Park, and coming from Kelvin Grove Park, going down West George Street, and then going to around Nelson Mandela Place, and then going to along the top of George Square. Now, as we pointed out, marches are constrained by the narrowest point. Now, that's around Nelson Mandela Square. Now, you can get 100 people around that corner in 1 minute, and we've counted them often enough to know that for a fact. So if you're going to get 50,000 people on a march, then it's going to pass that point in 8.5 hours. Now, there's not been a march in Glasgow's history that's taken that long. So you know straight away you're not going to get 50,000 on that march. Because if it passed that point at 12 o'clock, it means that at 8:30 it finally finishes that point. Okay, so that's 50,000. So if it was 100,000, it would be 17 hours it would take to pass that point, which would mean it would end at 5 a.m. the next morning. And if it was 150,000, it would mean it would end at about 1 p.m. on Sunday morning. So clearly these numbers are just completely ridiculous. And why do the media do that? Because it's irresponsible to do that. Because if you're telling the police there's going to be 50,000 on a march, they are going to be expending resources in order to police 50,000 people when all they needed to police was, say, maybe 5,000 people, which is, of course, what's most likely. It's going to be down in those low figures, which is still a big march. That would still take 2 or 3 hours to pass. Like, well, a 10,000 march would take 100 minutes. Okay, so what's that? That's an hour and 40 minutes. So if it was 10,000 people, that would take about an hour and 40 minutes to pass, which is still a very big march, my goodness me. But we will see what it's going to be like. We can see what it's going to be like, because we'll be there and we'll count them and we'll time them. But it's not going to be those funny numbers that the media is always talking about. Now, we had a competition, and the competition, I should say, let me just turn this around, actually, turn the settings around. Yeah, so we had a competition, and the competition, actually, I didn't tell you what the competition was for. It was for one. It was for a pack of 3 of these gorgeous pens. Okay, and I'll see if anybody has won it. Now, let me check my other device here in order to do this. Hands all on deck this morning. Oh no, yeah, nobody's won it because I never asked the competition. Well, we've still got time. We'll be here for another 10 minutes. So the actual competition question, sorry, I missed that. The actual competition question was, which famous British singer was born on this day in Scotland? Okay, I'll give you folks 5 minutes to answer that. Which famous British singer was born this day in Lennoxtown, East Dunbartonshire, and in 1948. Okay, and the winner gets a pack of 3 pens, 3 Union Jack pens. These fantastic little babies. Sorry, the answer is send it into contact@aforceforgood.uk. Sorry, folks, I'm all over the place here, but I'm trying to do a live broadcast while walk and speak and think and erect posters and talk to the coppers at the same time. So please cut me some slack on this one. Yeah, send it to contact@aforceforgood.uk. Cheers, folks. And the first person to send that to that address, TC says, David Clues runs his No More Lockdowns and No Vaccine Passports site. Yep, David Clues is a good friend of ours. Richard says the little ice age during which rivers like the Thames and the Tay froze over every year started thawing 300 years ago before the Industrial Revolution and the invention of the motor car. So how much of global warming is natural? Well, I think there's a lot of it which is natural. And he says he's always been cynical about it. Anthropogenic global warming. Is it happening or not? Well, it may or may not be happening, but the question is, it's not really a danger. That's the thing. It's the alarmism and the fear that's created that is the big issue here. No sign of greeting Greta. Well, let's talk about greeting Greta. She was filmed. She was filmed. I don't know if she had had too much buckfast or if she was just enjoying Glasgow hospitality too much or something like that. But she was filmed jumping up and down, literally shouting, "You can shove your climate crisis up your colloquialism for bottom." And it's quite a funny video. And she's doing it. She's singing the wee rhyme, you know, "You can shove your climate crisis up your..." And this is Greta Thunberg doing it. I can only presume she's had too much buckfast to drink, but we put it out on the internet last night on Twitter, and it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny to hear it coming out of her mouth. And I thought, well, you know, she has a few bottles of buckfast, and she starts talking the truth. Isn't that interesting? Oops. Looks like you're in Australia. It does a bit, doesn't it? This is called the Clyde Arc, or as it's known locally as the Squinty Bridge. And it's closed to traffic except buses and local pedestrians. Let's see if we've got a winner. Let's see if we've got a winner of our competition. Yes, we do. We do have a winner. Let's see if I can type it in here. Typing in the winner. And the winner, ladies and gentlemen, of our 3-pen Union Jack set is Jeff Baker. Shout out to Jeff Baker. Congratulations. The lady born today on the 3rd of November in East Dunbartonshire in 1948 was, of course, Lulu, who won the Eurovision Song Contest with her amazing rendition of Boom, Banga Bang. So well done, Jeff. I don't know if we've got your address or not. Please, could you send your address to that email and we'll get those in the post to you today. So well done, Jeff. Well done, Jeff. Bill says, nice to see you wearing a poppy. Absolutely, it's that time of year. Alan says, great stuff, Jeff. Catherine says, congratulations, Jeff. Frankie says, congratulations, Jeff. Tommy, you were just put to the post. Well, who said? And he says, well done, Jeff. And as does Stephen. Well done, Jeff. Good stuff. Good, folks. That's an hour has gone. We're going to be back out on Friday. We're going to be in the centre of town on Friday with the banner, and we'll be doing a live broadcast then also. So thanks to everybody who has contacted and watched this morning. Hope you got something out of it. Hope you got to see just what it is like here in the great British city of Glasgow at the COP26 carry on. And we've had a great day. We're going to be here because Max has got a contact that's going to be arriving shortly. But we're going to end this broadcast and say, God bless the United Kingdom and God save the Queen. We're not going to be here next week. I meant to say that. We're not going to be here next week. We're taking a week off because we have to get our magazine to the printers. And so we're going to have to lay out the magazine, 40-page magazine. We're going to be laying it out that week. So we're not going to be able to do anything next Wednesday. We're not going to be able to have a broadcast next Wednesday. Sorry about that, folks, but we'll be back the Wednesday after. Okay, so God bless the United Kingdom and God save the Queen. See you in 2 weeks.